Hey. Hi, how's everybody doing tonight? It is Tuesday night. We're going to be doing this Shadowrun thing that we've been doing now for about a month. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think everyone else has been having a lot of fun with it. So we will carry on. Last week we finished.
Chat already.
Yeah, last week we finished off the first mission from the Chicago mission storyline, SRM 0501, which is Chasing the Wind. So tonight, sometime, that Chasing the Wind is going to change into whatever number 2 is, probably after the break, because that's probably when we'll actually start diving deeper into that. At the end of the last mission, they took Samantha, who turns out to be the clone from the clone tank, to Nick Ryder just to kind of see what's going on, not necessarily wanting to turn her over for a variety of reasons. They talked to him and kind of figured out maybe this is not the same Samantha as the one that was actually taken, because there's 12 of them now. Like, there's no way to think that this is the one. And she wanted to go back to the Maker Collective anyway and just live her clone life. So so they were like, yeah, we're just gonna take her back. Sorry, cop guy. But he was cool. As far as he was concerned, he figured it all out. All was done. And so they ended up getting paid by everybody. Hey, Aragod is now following. Thank you very much. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is Beth.
Yeah, that's Beth. She wrote 5-3. Yeah. 503. Welcome, Beth.
Hey.
All right, so yeah, so they took her back, but they got paid. Quantum Princess paid them, though she was a little bit miffed that like there was some kerfluffle at Midway Airport. But whatever, they got the job done, so they got paid. Then they got paid by Simon Andrews, who was very pleased to get all of the technologies that they had left there for him. No idea where he took that technologies, because that technology sure did contain 11 clone tanks full of clone. And then after that, they also got paid by Juan Shuit, because Nick called it in and said, hey, they did what they needed to do. I know what's going on. And so they got paid. So that came out to about 12 grand in Nguyen, which is good for some of them. Like Kaida, he just got into town. He doesn't have a place he was staying yet. He spent one night at the boarding house, and then like that place is raucous because he couldn't get no sleep. Somebody came in there and just started like throwing people around. Yeah, we have, so I'll let everybody know what happened. We got 12,000 Nguyen each. Everybody got that. Everybody also got 6 karma for that mission. Most everybody got 2 street cred for just, handling the mission, and also the Samantha thing. Like when that word kind of gets out, everyone's like, hey, that's really cool that you didn't like take this, as far as we're concerned, a fellow CZ-er, and just like, send her off to who knows where. You found out what was going on, you brought her back. Guys are cool. However, notoriety, 3 of our characters did receive a point of notoriety. 2 of them received a point of notoriety for shenanigans at the airport. Word got out to kind of who was involved in that. Not a big deal, people getting their feet wet. It happens. And then the 3rd person got a point of notoriety for heading into the men's boarding room and causing a big ruckus. And, I'm pretty sure that she saw that coming. It's not a big deal. Won't be a big deal until they get 10 notoriety. And if you get 10 notoriety, you're not doing something right, in my opinion, as Shadowrunners. We shall see.
We're sun at that point. We're running in the sun.
Running in the sun. Sun runners. So, with that, some time is passing. I'm going to go around the horn real quick and just see maybe what folks were doing in that time off. Was there anything that they wanted to pick up with some of the money they got? Is there anything in particular they're doing? If they have expenses, how are they paying that? Do they have some sort of side hustle or something that's besides shadow running? Or maybe did they go on like some, small time runs or what have you? And see what happened in the past, probably month and a half to 2 months since they all came together to chase the wind, as it were. So we'll start with Jen and Gertrude. What's Gertrude's last month or so been like?
So Gertrude is spending a lot of time in her home turf, in her neighborhood. She's got a small free pay what you want kind of clinic that she runs out of the side of her house, and for the neighborhood, and it's mostly people pay her in food. And so she does that. She wants to send some nuyen over to Etienne to help cover his assumed increased soy calf intake that she feels responsible for. And she may head down to the Maker's Mart to look for some improvements and upgrades for Darcy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I believe the Horde is one of the gangs that's located in Chicago, and just north of the containment zone, there's like a large area where the Horde, which is mostly trolls and orcs, but they're not that particular, a gang, and I believe their leaders are shacked up in a golf course, in the country club there at the golf course. And so Gertrude is actually, they have a nice place that they have for her when they found out that she had medical experience and her own ambulance. So I think a lot of her patients are members of that gang when they get into a little bit of ruckus here and there with other various folks around the containment zone. So for that, she gets a deal on the rent, and she gets to eat, and she gets to practice medicine. All right. What about Kaida? So Kaida just got to town, so he doesn't even know like what else is around. He stayed a night in a ratty boarding house, but now he's kind of flush with cash, and yeah. Sound. Push to talk.
I knew that. I knew it already.
Mm-hmm.
I was just making sure that you were on your toes.
Try to talk within our mind.
Yeah, it's because I can do that with MindNet. Well, Kaida, actually, his first thought is not just about where he's going to stay, because, he's here. He actually enjoyed the teamwork, which he didn't think he was going to, because he's used to doing missions on his own. So he's kind of more eager to stay around to see if this becomes a reoccurring thing. But in the meantime, he's not the kind of person that can be like on here, like doing nothing for long. So he actually decides to return to the Maker's Market. That's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm. The Maker's Collective.
And
yeah.
Maker's Collective, right? And then to take up the manager on that offer to set up for a pop-up.
Okay.
And he's been doing that, mostly just connecting with other awakened people and teaching magical skills. So that way he can have his like ear to the street and grow his connections. Because he didn't like feeling like when there were moments in the past mission where he didn't know what was going on. He's not that type of person to not know. So he wants to continue that. And plus, he made really good friends with those two Desolation Angels, Talon and Tasha.
Yeah.
And so, and they have his number, and he's been trying to get at Talon low key. But he's smooth. He's a long game type of person, so he's not going to rush. Okay. And plus, when I first went in there, when Kaida first went in to talk to the dangerous crew boys, they seem pretty cool too. So he's just getting his foot wet. He's kind of like making connections. He's picked up a little. I think I don't want to say it's cash, but just some trinkets and favors that he can call in for some of the magical lessons that he's taught, and he's hoping that it'll eventually turn into a cash flow. As far as his staying, I think at this point he's going to stay at the boarding house for right now, mostly because.
So do you want to stay at the boarding house itself? Like the boarding house is just like, it's like for, transients and stuff like that. It's actually a neighborhood behind there that has open houses too, if you are wanting to pay some rent.
How much is rent?
It's not much because it's very it's just above squatter, so we're talking like $2,000 a month. But in Shadowrun, lifestyle isn't just about like, oh, it's $2,000 for rent. Like that's your utilities, your food, everything, right? So we're saying it's $2,000.
Let me think about it.
And then what we'll probably be doing, because each mission is going to take up a certain amount of time more than just a month, these side hustles that you're talking about, those are going to be things that are going to kind of go into making sure that you're paying your rent and stuff. So as long as everything's working out and makes sense story wise, we don't have to worry too much about that lifestyle stuff dipping in heavily. But everyone has to pay their first month.
Kaida doesn't like to get something and then lose it. So he'd rather like wait to have it secure when he gets it. But well, let's try it. Let's try a little. Let's go with that. We're going to say a little small pad, because one thing that's very important to him is that he has his meditation time, and this way he can do that peacefully. So he's got him a little spot, and it's been balanced out because he's not worried about it, because he has been making some contacts at the Maker's Collection, and people there are starting to warm up to him. The manager, he low-key thinks the manager has a thing for him too, but he doesn't like to mix business with pleasure. So, that's pretty much where he is. He's thinking about, he's been developing his magic. So I'm pretty sure he's been looking at some new spells that he might try to learn soon.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. So Sarah, what is Flea now officially, probably in the last month or so, has taken that moniker on? What has she been up to?
She's actually started kind of ironically maybe to herself, also introducing herself as Peace, because of all the time she had to tell her peace. But she has been laying low in her. She has a place right outside the CZ, near Oak Park, and she has been spending a lot of time meditating on that first mission and basically her screw ups and what she can do better, because like her training kind of took her back to military short patience and like got to get the job done and who's useful and who's not. And she kind of realized that her training with her like Shifu wasn't really prevalent in her mind in terms of the peace that she had found and the value of life. So every life is important, even if you can't always see why. So she's really trying to like remember her training and not let it, the situations get her down. But she's also arguing with herself because she's like, I got to keep my team alive too. So anyway, she's been spending a lot of time meditating. She's kind of just sitting on the 12K. Right now she's paid up for her place that she's got. And in the meantime, she's just laying low and listening to rumors of any work that might come up. And she's made some appearances at the Makers Collective as well.
Okay. All right. Very good. Etienne, what's Etienne been up to?
Well, Etienne is, doing his thing in this little neighborhood, fixing stuff. He plugged in power and water in Kaida's new place when he moved in and stuff like that. The kind of job he does. But he also went back when he was offered money for the coffee by Gertrude. He declined it and asked for a ride to the Makers Collective whenever she went, and he followed her there and checked up on his on the new getup he was apparently gonna get. That he got his measurement done for and stuff. He also wanted to check the tech around. He heard about some programs that he wasn't supposed to use when he was working officially, but that could be useful that now that he's doing a little bit more of the crime side of the Matrix. Some programs to help him, and he owed Kaida some psyche too, so he's going to pick up a batch of that for himself because he quite enjoyed a little boost in concentration, and to also reimburse his buddy.
It was the boost in concentration that he enjoyed. Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
It's important,
All right. Satchel, what's been going on with Satchel for the past little bit?
Satchel was looking for a place near the Makers Collective. It seems pretty busy, so he could walk around and try to see what he could find out about maybe bag or organ leggers in the area, so he can run down leads and stuff like that. He's been, keeping low and just trying to make progress on trying to find his brother.
Okay. So would you say then that he that you found a place near the Maker Collective to squat in or to stay in?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so with that, it sounds like there's good reason for a lot of folks to be around the Maker Collective today.
It's a great
And
thing.
that's good. All right, so I believe...
I wasn't scared of a few seconds ago, but now I'm...
I don't know that there's a reason to be scared. All right, so at the Maker Collective, it's just kind of a normal day. There's not a whole lot going on. There's no special events or anything. Things are pretty quiet. Dangerous Crew is not in the building, and that's normal. The whole reason they get a corner of the collective of the mall like that is because they definitely spend a lot of their time scavenging and finding things and bringing them back to kind of pay their rent there. Kaida has been in the pop-up when someone else doesn't have the pop-up set. Kaida sometimes is in there just kind of looking and trying to figure out where he's going to set everything and how he's going to set it up when he finally pulls the trigger on that and does his little pop-up store. And Etienne is looking for various programs and the like. Those are definitely something that he can find at Hardwired, and of course, the ladies are thrilled that he's returned, and they've given him the designs and awaiting his approval on what's probably going to cost 2,000 nuyen in either cred or trade, good trade. So they're just, if he wants, that's what he wants. And
probably, yeah. I assume the design is satisfactory to the kind of stuff he wants. He would be willing to trade and or pay with nuyen, depending if there's something that they need from him.
Right. And so Satchel, you enter the Maker Collective that day through the back. You've met. There's a troll that actually sits in a van in the back of the Maker Collective, like outside, and his name is Augur, and basically he's pulling like Matrix Overwatch for the entire community. And so you met him, because you were coming in the back one day, and this troll was kind of like, hey, and so you kind of got to know the guy a little bit. And so you generally come in and out of the back of the collective, because right next to that is what's his name? I want to say it's Morton. Yeah, Morton, who of course runs the exchange. And you're heading in because you've kind of decided, I think, that you want to pick up something a little bit beefier than a hand cannon.
Or at least more useful than a hand cannon.
Right. So yeah.
I would try to find that the place that I went to before where I'd sold the gun. Trying to remember that man's name.
It's Morton. It's Morton.
Oh yeah, Morton. Okay. So yeah, I would go up to Morton and I'm looking for something. Hey. Oh hey, what's going on? What's going on, Morton?
Nothing much, just slow day, waiting for the kids to get back with whatever they find down in the CZ.
Has anybody brought anything? Like faster firing than this Ruger? He pulls out his Ruger and shows him.
Well, I mean, yes. I think I could work something out for you if that's really what you're looking for. But
I'm just looking for something that I could fire Stick and Shock out quickly and quietly.
Right. I got a few like assault rifles if you're looking for something, or a submachine gun. We got a couple submachine guns if you're looking for like rate of fire. Yeah, I think that's what we got. Do
you have any machine pistols? I'm trying to stay low profile.
A machine pistol. I think. Did we get a machine? Let me go in the back and look. And with that, he kind of steps away from the desk, heading back to just see, if he can find anything that might be useful for his good buddy Satchel there. Meanwhile, Etienne, you are in Hardwired, picking up your programs and about to head over to pick up some Psyche, because it's good for concentration.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Hardwire's like, yeah. So we've got all the programs. Whatever you need, I can get you a copy. Is there, something you're looking for right now?
Like you mean in the minute, and the rest you're gonna get me later?
Okay. I
don't know. Yeah. What are you asking? What are you asking right now?
I'm asking if you're buying any of them today.
Yeah. Okay. Here's and he looks over his shoulder and he flings a little AR packet with a list of programs. All right, and here's an extra one. That one is a little bit rougher, but these agents. How big of an agent could you get me?
Well, agents are. We could get you like something off the shelf. They're not really great. I think the nicest one is this. Is this MCT Com Buddy? I think it's on version 7 or something. But that's like $3,000, and it's MCT, right? I know a guy who can put together like a custom job for you. It costs a bit more, like quite a bit more, but you don't have to worry about back doors or anything like that. And also, a guy's solid. Like he's like Doc Wagon. Like you can't burn your customers because then you don't have customers, right? That kind of thing. So
yeah. How much more expensive?
Oh, you're starting at $8,000. just like for something simple. And I think I've seen someone go as high. I think you've seen them go as high as 12.
Okay. Well, I mean, think I'm gonna get back to you on that because might as well go big, eh? I can wait a little bit, but here's the list of programs. If you could fling me a copy of those right now, I got the deck right here.
Yeah. Let me get that. He takes the list from you and looks it over. We got that, yep, and okay. Sure. He turns back, grabs a small device, sets it down onto the counter, punches in several key codes, just kind of over it, looking at his AR, and then, all right, just got to make the handshake, and those are all going to be transferred over.
Yep, and well, here's your cash.
All right,
thanks. Handshake, and we're done.
All right, excellent, very good. And if you need anything else, we're here, Hardwired. Take care of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course. All right. I'll see you next time. Hey, say hello to the guy in the back for me, would you?
Oh yeah, Crater. I'll tell him the Frenchman said hello.
I'll take it. He just walks away, looking in the air at these shiny new programs and shit.
All right. Meanwhile, back at Morton's, he comes back out. So I got this here. It's a Black Scorpion, a Seska Black Scorpion. It's small. It's got burst fire. It doesn't have a full auto on it, so but it holds 35. You'll put lead down range, and it's only going for like 270. You got the smart link stuff? You got that?
I do.
Yeah, I can get you like an external sort of add-on for it, if you want, and that'll kind of help it. It makes it a little bit bulkier, but you'll be able to hit what you're shooting at better, I guess.
That works. I appreciate that. Do you happen to have any? Do you happen to have any suppressors or a silencer or anything? I'm trying not to make too much noise.
Suppressor. Does this even take you? He looks at the end of it. This takes. Does this take a suppressor? Yeah. This will take a suppressor. I can get you a suppressor. I think that's gonna go 500 for the suppressor, 200 if I'm right. Am I right? Is that right in my head? Yeah, 500 for the suppressor, 200 for the smart system, and then 270 for the weapon itself. So that comes out to what, like 970. Yeah.
That sounds good to me. And then I give him the creds. Oh, by the way, do you have any spare clips or magazines?
Yeah. How many you need?
I need 2, and then I need 1 live, and then 2 stick and shot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got him. Clips with. Got it. So I'll just throw in the clips free, and then you want a load of 2 loads of stick and shock and a load of what?
Of live ammunition.
Oh, okay, just regular stuff. All right, yeah, I got that. That's easy. And then he goes back to several boxes of bullets, and he kind of pops one open and he starts counting them, and then he brings them over, slides everything to you. You're probably gonna need to take a minute to pop that. And if you don't know how to do it, I think Crater does. You can just stop in there real quick and just say, "Hey, Morton said put this on for me," or whatever. The suppressor just screws on, man. Just don't like,
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
The way that it doesn't go on, do it the other way and it goes on, right? That's That's how you do it. But just don't cross the threads, because then like that thing is gonna be a bitch to take off, and it'll like mess up your aim bad. So
Thanks for the heads up, Morton.
yeah. All right, man. Well, take care of yourself, and if you find anything neat, useful, whatever, bring it by, and we'll take care of you.
All right. And then I just leave.
All right. Etienne.
Yeah.
Fluff is sitting down, counting out what looked to be little half-inch baggies of something.
Okay. Hey, man. Didn't mean to disturb you while you're working. I was told you were the guy I needed to talk to you about Psyche.
583. 583. 583. 583.
583. It's
583.
Making it up.
Yeah. 583. Just you remember that number. I'm on 583. 583. Okay. Yeah. You wanted what was it you wanted? You wanted some. You said Psyche. Psyche. Yeah. I got some Psyche. I got some of that in the. Not in the back. Not in the back. It's right over here. Actually, a lot of people like this stuff. I kind of it's. It's okay, it's a little mellow for me. Kind of,
It's not
so
the other stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So so what do you want? Like, just how many hits do you want of this?
How about 6?
6. All right, 6. Anyway, yeah. So if it's gonna be 6, what is it, like 200 a dose? I think is whatever. It's the going rate. Is that the going rate? 583. No. 1200, right? Yeah, 1200.
Okay. All right.
Is that right? That's right. 1200. Yeah, 1200, and that gets you that 6 doses of. Oh, here you go. You might want to take that. Here you go, my man. He hands that over.
Cred stick.
And, yeah.
And
okay.
583. That's the number you're looking
583. 583. Yes, 583. Okay, and he goes back to the baggies and he flips one over. 584, 585, 586, and now he's counting them.
Well, I'm gonna let him count and walk away. And
All
if I notice that Dirty was hanging out as his little to-be pop-up shop, I'm gonna.
Kaida.
Oh, Kaida. Sorry.
Now I know how it feels.
There you go.
I get your pain, Flea.
Thank you. Thanks. I just can't wait, because now that I've got everyone calling me Flea, I'm going to be like, peace.
Right, now that we're used to it. That's funny.
Yep. All right. There's no pop-up today, so it's definitely open. Danger Crew is not here today, unfortunately. You got Rooster just watching his trids in security, and manager's door's shut. Other than that, the shops are open.
So yeah, I was looking for Kaida if he was around. Are you?
Is that an option that I can say?
Yeah, you can be like, nah, I'm not there.
Am I at the? I don't feel like I'm there. If the pop-up's not there, I don't know why it would be there.
Well, it's not up, so that's your opportunity, right? Because like it's for now, it's a pop-up. So like people come in and they have a store for like a day or maybe 2, and then they cut it down, right? So when there's a pop-up there, then you can be there to like see how they're doing and see what kind of traffic they get, and like maybe like, oh, on this day they get this much and these are slow days or whatever. But when they're not there, then you can actually go into space and like check it out and decide how you want to set yours up when you do. So that's why you might be there.
I feel like I should be there. So
Okay.
let's say I'm there.
All right, sounds
roll it
good.
with the punches,
Oh, so
like Adele said.
So you see
Said
Etienne.
rolling that deep, though.
You see Etienne walks out of the Makers Collective and looks around and sees you, and he waves and he comes towards you, like, "Hey, como esquivo? You doing
And
good,
Kaida
buddy?"
does that thing where he tries to look busy.
I owe you something, and I got it.
And then he is no longer busy. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he goes in his pocket and he slap a little baggie with a pill in it on the table. Here's your psyche, bro.
Kaida's like, he looks around, like, just in front of everybody's like, you ain't got no low key, bruh. Come
We're in
on.
the CZ, first of all. Second of all, outside the CZ, you can buy that at the corner store.
Yeah, but I don't want everybody knowing my business like that. That's not how us nocturnists get down.
He looks around, noticing the lack of people. He's like, well, okay. I'll be more careful next time.
That's it. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
All right. Well, bonne chance. Good luck with whatever you're doing here. And he looks at your stuff, and he doesn't understand magic, so he's like, yeah, good luck.
So, my assumption was always that the pop-up was in the front of the market, like near the entrance.
Yeah, it is.
So, I've got these little, I don't think he would have flyers. It would be like, is there a digital equivalent to a flyer?
Yeah, it's like a PDF.
I've got those. And I'm kind of like, there's like, because Kaida's cool. He's one of those guys that likes to always feel cool. So there's like this block of wood or something that he's got is like leaned against with one foot up and the other one like outstretched. You know, that cool look, that pose that cool dudes do.
Right.
He's doing that. And he's just looking around, very nonchalant. He's really good with soft focus. So he notices everything around him, but he's not really looking at one thing.
Okay.
And he's waiting for people to walk past and just to remind them, you know, hey, are you awakened? And so his shop is called Woke.
Hey.
Yeah.
His shop is called Woke?
Yes. His
Yes.
pop-up is called Woke.
Okay.
Woke for Magics and Mayhem.
All right. Yeah, so that's, that's just how you're spending some of your days. You do get a this is one of the few days also, just to make it really easy, that that Flea is in the Maker Collective as well. I don't know that anyone's noticed her yet. That's there. However, she is sitting, we'll say right now, just in the there's like a food court area, so there's several tables and stuff. Just noticing the goings on.
I have a little bag with me from one of my previous trips to the Makers Collective. I did some shopping, so I'll reveal that when the time comes.
Okay, it's a mystery. All right, so Gertrude, however, you're there because you wanted to look and see if there might be anything that you could get for the van, and of course, you brought Etienne over with you when you did. And are you in Hardwired, or are you trying to get a conversation going with Crater in the back?
Wherever is, I'm looking for like physical modifications right now, so I don't know if Hardwire is the right place or to go and talk to Crater would be better.
So Hardwired is like the storefront, and so if there's once something gets made, it kind of gets put in the storefront, and so he's just selling things there. The times you've been here, you know that there's a big set of like rooms that are they just store all this salvage that's in there, And a lot of the stuff that gets made, a lot of it sometimes is just creator going back there and like grabbing this, that, and any other, and then making, a toaster hair dryer. So you could speak to him if you had like anything specific you were looking for, and then, or if you like noticed anything back there. And there's also a sort of a DIY side where they have workshops and stuff, but no garage, unfortunately. So.
Oh yeah, I'll go back and chat with him about what I'm thinking and if he's got any recommendations, since he is a local and I am an out of towner.
Okay. So, speaking to Crater, let's get that pushed. He's sitting at his work table, like he always is. He's got several. He's got like 3 lights that are they're ring lights with the magnifying glass in the center, and they're all kind of focused on different things. You're not sure if that's 3 different projects or if that's one project that he's just kind of got spread out. But he's definitely into it, whatever it is that he's making. Hard to say.
I will gently knock on a door or door frame, whatever is closest, to try to not startle him too much.
Hi. You're Gertrude, right?
I am.
That's your name.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hi. What can I do for you?
I heard that you were the man to see. I'm looking to make some modifications to my van, and I thought you might be able to provide some guidance, or if you had some suggestions. I have some thoughts, but I'm not from around here, so I heard snow was a thing, and that's not a thing where I'm from. So
Snow. Yeah. That snow's a real thing.
yeah.
It happens in the winter. It's mostly gone now because it's March. March. Is it March? It's March. Yes. But I could probably think of some stuff for a van because I'm a rocket scientist. So probably I could. A van is like they were made before rockets, so the technology is older. Yeah. Yeah, I could probably do it. What kind of van is it?
It's a van for a person a size such as myself, and it's got some medical equipment in the back.
Okay. And,
Some people might call it an ambulance. I call it Darcy.
Oh. Why?
Well, she's been very good to me, and that she needed a name. And
Yeah. We do that a lot. We do that a lot when we like things and then we give them. We treat them like they're alive. And
I knew you'd understand.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. So a van. You need it to do van things like go. Sometimes maybe go faster, or maybe it's an ambulance. Maybe you need lights so people see you, or other things. What you said? You said you had ideas you were thinking of.
Well, I always want to go faster. That's just a given for me. It's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something to help with the snow, maybe some sort of thing on the front that might also be useful for, if I have to get to somebody fast and there's a wall in my way, that I can go through the wall to get to the person. Or maybe something to keep me safe from the snow and whatever else might be lurking in the wintertime here in the CZ.
Well, there's lots of things that lurk in the CZ. I seen some of them. It's very scary. So I can appreciate that you want to be safe from the lurking things. So
And keep my patient safe too.
yes. I think. Do you the van? It has a make an the kind it is, the model.
It's a GMC Endurance.
Okay, yes, GMC. Writes that down. GMC Endurance, so I can look that on the com. Okay, I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at the GMC Endurance and see what look at the frame and other so I can. It's gotta be it's gotta be supported, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'll look at that and I'll see what I can think of, like maybe like a on the front and also maybe something to make it go faster. I think that's doable. We may have some stuff in the back. I'll look there too.
Okay, and I can help put things, like install things, if that helps.
Oh yeah, because we can't. We don't have a place for a van here. But there's probably maybe across the street there, or one of the houses might have like a garage. We could maybe set something up there if we need to, and work on it. Yeah. That's. I think we can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So next, maybe next time, if you're here, just stop by and I'll show what I got.
Yeah.
But
that sounds great.
not later today. That's
Sure.
going to be too soon.
You're very busy.
Yes. But maybe tomorrow or any time after.
Okay.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay.
I'll send him over my my comm code.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks. What you're working on there looks super fun.
Yeah. It's gonna when the sound of for like a when you say the words, it makes the thing do voice activated, and it will. So I'm going to install it into this. It's an old drone with legs, and then someone wants to put this in it. I think it's a blender.
Sometimes you want your blender to make your smoothies for you. I understand.
And bring it. Maybe you're busy, and so you can't go get it, and so your blender comes to you.
I'm in support of mobile blender that's voice activated. That sounds great.
Yes. Yeah. It'll work.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye. Bye. And then he turns back to the table. Yeah. As you are sitting at the table in the food court area, You're looking around, and your comm code there starts to buzz. Flea.
I look to see who it might be.
It says unknown caller.
I kind of flip my hair back and sit up straight to get to business, and I answer. And for anyone that might be watching, a lot of her demeanor seems to have changed. Like she actually speaks with a soft, like Sprenthial accent. And her voice is much quieter. But she answers and says, "Peace."
You answer the call and say that to be greeted by a fellow sitting in a very plush sort of velour chair. He's got just all this smoke is kind of floating in front of him. He's bald. His head is kind of pushing back bald, but he's kind of like trying to force some greasy strands of hair forward as far up as they can go. He's got this super crazy thick mustache and goatee, and he's just sitting there. What? What'd you say? Hey, kid. You're one of them. You're one of them Shadowrunners, eh?
I immediately change any speaker sound to come into my earbuds.
Hey, you can talk, right? You got to turn the sound on the thing.
Yes.
You got to unmute it.
I'm here. I can hear you. Can I help you? Yes, I am. What you mentioned.
Yeah. Good. So check it out. My name is Sid. Sid Gambetti, at your service. And word is that there's lots of like works opportunities and stuff for you Shadowrunner types, and I figure I can get in the game too. So I managed actually to get something put together, and if you're open today, maybe for a little bit of work or something, you can come by for a meet.
Absolutely. Where might I find you?
Oh, I'm at the vault. So you heard of the vault?
No.
You ain't heard of the vault?
I'm new to Chicago.
Oh, you're new to Chicago. Okay, you're new to Chicago. That's why. All right. So, all right, check it out. So the vault is where's the vault at? Geez. There's a street. You just look it up. Yeah. You look it up on the comlink. So you come down to the vault. All right. It's basically like a boxing ring, okay? And you're gonna come over there and you're gonna look for me. Everybody knows me. I know everybody. I'm Sid Gambetti. So you get down there, we can have a chat, and if all goes well, and you're feeling good, I'm feeling good, we're all feeling good. Whoever you brought along with you, because this is gonna be a team effort. So if you got like some people that you know, bring them too, and if everything goes well, I got a lead on a good job, thousands of Nuyen kind of thing. I'll make sure, that you're going to get a square deal out of it. And, it'll be good business and the start of a beautiful relationship. Yeah, right.
I look forward to it. Thank you for thinking of us, or thinking of me, Sid.
Yeah, sure thing. We'll be there. I'm ringside with the champ. That's how you find me. Ask around. Everybody knows me. And we'll see you. We'll see you when they get there. Not too long, because these kind of job things, they're like on a timer. So if you wait too long, then you snooze, you lose, right? Yeah, that's what.
We'll be on our way shortly. Promise.
All right, great, awesome. We'll see ya. We'll see ya when you get here. All right, good. And then he hangs up.
I kind of sigh and look around the collective to see if there's anyone I know. I know where I just is his name Fuzzy? Fuzz?
Fuzzy?
Hold on, I'm forgetting my drug dealer or
Fluff.
my
Fluff.
Can I call him Fuzzy?
He'd probably be confused, but
So I know where he is. I just picked something up from him, but I'll see who else is around.
all right. So from the food court, you can easily see the pop up, and you know that Kaida's over there, and you may or may not have seen Etienne head that way. You haven't seen Satchel. I don't know that you've seen Gertrude, but maybe you have.
I'll head to find Kaida and Etienne.
Okay. So as just after passing over that dose of psyche to Kaida, you turn and see none other than Flea walking over towards the pop-up.
Show you something too, bud?
Sorry?
No, I was talking to Kaidai's. He went back taking his pose. I don't think he wants to talk to us right now. He's doing his magic thing, I believe. I don't know.
I start rifling through that bag a little bit and say, I got you both something. And I take out 2 flashlights and hand them over.
Oh, hey, thanks. Takes it
And
and
then-
puts it in one of the little pockets. Like I wanted to get one of those, but I forgot. Hey, thank you very much.
You realize that I'm Nocturner, right?
Well, you never know when we're going to find another darkened room, and we need a little light to shine our way.
Okay. I'm
Speaking
just gonna go
of
with it.
dark rooms, either of you looking for work at the moment?
Whoa. Look, I don't know what this kind of thing is, but I don't know kind of work you're in dark rooms that you're talking about, but I am a man of magic and we have high standards.
Etienne
for-
slaps him on the shoulders, like, work, and he tries to get him to understand.
Oh, you mean you got another mission? Oh, thought she
There
was
you
saying
go.
something else, dude. I didn't get it.
That.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, I want some money. Money's always awesome.
All right. Well, are you able to leave your stand tonight? They want to meet very quickly.
Well, that guy over there has been looking like he wants to ask me a question for the last hour and a half, so I'm going to pose for a little while longer because I think you guys coming over here just made it like even more unlikely that he's going to ask me whatever he needs. But it looks like he's got a lot of money, so after that, I'm free.
All right. Etienne, would you maybe like to help me find some more assistance here? Maybe Gertrude is around. Have you seen her?
Yeah, she brought me here. She should be at the electronics shop or somewhere around there.
Makes sense. Would you care to come with me?
Should you lead the way?
I go looking for
Pardon me.
Gertrude.
All right.
And I turn to Etienne and I say, "Are we just gonna act like we don't? That she didn't just develop an accent overnight?"
I mean, you all guys have accents, so I don't know. I don't notice much of the difference. Or
I figure because you didn't say anything that I shouldn't say anything, so I guess we're just gonna let that slide and we're gonna not have that conversation.
there's I don't care. Just ask her, and he starts walking.
I'm just saying. And then I go back to my pose.
All right. Yeah, you guys find Gertrude easily enough. She is the tallest person in the building.
That's fair.
Gertrude, lovely to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Flea. Did you know Crater is making a walking blender that's voice activated?
No.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah.
Fancy. Well, if you aren't busy, I have a potential job for us. If you'd be willing to come with us tonight.
Sure.
Excellent. Well, we'll be leaving fairly shortly. We're waiting for Kaida to, finish his posing. I think that's how he makes money. Maybe I'm not sure what he's selling.
I mean, he's kind of strange looking, so maybe he's like just hoping to get some change. I don't get it either. Anyone seen Satchel?
Satchel sees you all. I don't know if I don't think you all see him yet. So I'll put that on Satchel to decide how he wants to make that approach.
Well, I don't know anyone else that I've seen here tonight to maybe bring in. So if no one else is around that maybe we head out.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't think I know any other working people. If you want to stay subtle. So, yeah. Anyone has his com number?
I would imagine our closest thing we have to a Deca might have something in your call history.
That's not like I talked to him on the phone, but I mean, if he's around, I can try and find him. And I think he mentioned that he would at least live in the neighborhood now when he left the boarding house last time.
Like, I kind of see them talking in the corner. I mean, I'm in the corner as they're talking amongst themselves, and Satchel gets up and makes his way over, and he's just like, "Good morning, guys. How are you?"
Yeah, back in there. He's there.
Satchel,
Found him.
Lovely to see you. And I reach into the bag and pull out 2 more flashlights and say, a small gift after our last needs.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I tried to poison you with nerve agent. Here's a flashlight.
I do not apologize for that. I just saw a need that needed to be met. So I fixed it. We all have flashlights now. You're welcome. Ungrateful
Back
bastard.
in the game.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I didn't mean to interject there. I did mean to interject. Sorry.
So Satchel kind of like looks over the flashlight and makes sure it's not like wired to explode or anything before he puts it in his bag.
His is absolutely wired to explode.
And in that case, I just hurl it outside the door. Out the door.
Nope, it's too late. It's already in the bag. You fell for it.
Damn. Trojan horse.
Satchel, if you are free tonight, I've roped our fellows into another job.
What kind of job is it?
Don't know until we go get the details and agree to it.
Okay. Sure. That sounds fine to me.
Gertrude, care to be our ride?
Sure.
Shotgun.
We forgot one thing. We have to wait just a bit longer, and I kind of look across at Kaida and wait for him to finish posing.
So, meanwhile, that fellow over there, he's kind of got a spiffy suit. Looks a little out of place, I'd say, in the Maker Collective. Finally, he just kind of rolls over to Kaida, just kind of looking around. Hey, This is really embarrassing, but where's the bathroom in this place?
Is that it?
Yeah, I kind of have to go, but I couldn't find it, and everyone else was just busy doing stuff. I was about to come and ask you, because you looked like you weren't doing anything, and then and then like those people came and talked to you, and I was like, oh, I better leave them alone. But now it looks like you're back to just standing here. So yeah, where's the
Wow.
bathroom?
Wow. It's that way, dude.
Oh, what? Really? I didn't see it. I was okay. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. And he trundles off to go to the bathroom.
So then Kaida walks over to the group. Like, I guess we can go now.
Oh, you're done? Cool.
Yeah, it was a potential client. I'm sure he'll come back another time.
Was there any sassy eyebrow?
Oh, no, he just, I don't know. He I can't even think of a lie. He didn't want anything. He just didn't know how to find the restrooms.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I mean, no, I'm fine. I'm not hurt.
Listen, it takes time to start a business, so don't worry about it, man.
Bro, I have customers. That's just the one time you don't know.
No, you're right. I don't.
You haven't been here.
Shall we
See,
get
slave
to
away
work?
with this freaking pop-up shop over the
Yes.
last month and a half. Nobody wants to come to here to put up our magic supplies.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know magic.
Why does it have to get personal? Why does it have to get personal?
But I don't
We've been
know.
together for 5 minutes and we're already fighting.
How did it get personal? What did I say?
I'm feeling very attacked. I'm not going to be the satchel on this mission. It's not going to be me. So
I
don't even
don't
start.
say anything. I just kind of smile and turn and head toward the parking lot.
And I know what you mean with all that silence over there, Flea.
Etienne just looks confused at what he said that was wrong.
Yeah, Flea kind of looks at Etienne and shrugs because, like, literally, he's fighting with us over, like, he's creating fights with us in his brain.
Okay,
All
I
right.
jump in the shotgun.
let's get to work.
Okay, so
Etienne, can you Google search the vault? See what you can find out about it. That's where we're headed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me check that out. So he's gonna go on the Matrix and try and find stuff about the vault.
all right, go ahead and give me that Matrix search roll.
Yes. Okay. This is well placed. I'm gonna put that on. We're gonna put that on. All right.
There it is.
Great.
All right, so the vault easily found as far as just trying to get a location of where the vault is. It is it's a sort of a containment zone, sort of locals spot is what you kind of gather, but it's on West Addison and North Kimball, which is in the containment zone. So the Maker Collective is actually not in the containment zone itself. It's just north of the containment zone. So you actually will have to enter into the containment zone to get there. So as you are heading south to get into the containment zone, driver, give me that edge roll.
Etienne is gonna send an invitation to everybody for his pen and switch to silent after that.
Okay.
Make sure everyone is covered and clear. Not showing guns or anything.
All right. Okay. All right. So just driving along.
So how have you been?
Talking to me?
It's just a general question. Anyone can answer it. It's been, what, a couple months since we've seen each other last?
Think
more
about
like one. Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing all right. You know,
Yeah, he's got a place near where I'm at. I plugged his water and electricity at what 2 weeks ago.
it was about 2 weeks ago.
It's kind of a cool place you got there.
I think it's a very cool place. It's got a lot of space for me to relax. I've been practicing my magics, and I feel a new spell coming on. So don't piss me off. And then also, I've been taking up some herbology too. So
Interesting. Like what kind of herbs?
the kind you eventually dry and put into food and seasonings. I like to cook, so
Gotcha.
parsley and stuff like that. Just
Oregano, basil.
Yeah, oregano. I like oregano.
Bay leaves are amazing.
Oh,
You know,
Cecil,
Flavor.
you
they're very
inspired me. So I had my dealer fix up a little paralysis, and she pulls out a little vial.
Whoa. This lady. We can't even have a conversation about basil without poison coming into the conversation.
I mean, it comes from plants too. Sometimes, maybe not anymore. I don't know.
Does this poison come from plants?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't made it. I have a dealer for that.
She knows a guy.
Okay, cool.
I had a really weird hot dog.
What, did it have ketchup on it?
Not allowed anymore. It had like a salad on top. It was really weird.
Episode 6, and Gertrude is still my favorite.
Oh, right.
Like, why is there this weird dill pickle and tomato slice on my hot dog?
But I was told
What's
ketchup's
going
not
on?
okay. It's very
You know,
confusing.
It's
I'm
crazy. There's a lot of different hot dogs out there. I just have to throw that out there.
I did just introduce Thomas to Chicago style hot dogs, so
Yeah.
A Chicago style hot dog is what kind of hot dog again?
Hot
it's
dog with a
got,
salad on it.
it's got mustard, relish, celery salt, sport peppers, onion,
Right.
tomato, and pickle.
To me, there's only I've had a few different types of hot dogs, but I've had like a hood hot dog where it's like where you don't have a bun and you don't have shredded cheese. So you take like the little slice of loaf and you put the hot dog in the middle. When you try to bend it, it breaks. So you put cheese underneath it and melt the cheese first. So that when it breaks, the cheese
fortifies it. Yeah. Adhesives. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
The struggle dog.
That's the struggle dog right there for you.
Dear God, Danny, are we at the vault yet?
This is all in character conversation as far as I'm concerned. But that said, as you are driving towards the checkpoint that you see, you kind of look, and it looks like there's some traffic coming your way. And then you realize, Gertrude, that traffic coming your way is actually coming your way very quickly. And it's several vehicles. And if you didn't know any better, you would say that the vehicles in the back are chasing the vehicle in the front, and they blow through the checkpoint. The Lone Star cops are trying to wave them down, and then they just kind of blow through. There's gunshots firing, and you realize that through no fault of your own, there is going to be a very large accident involving Darcy and vehicle, unless you can pull some magic Evil Knievel stuff out of your hoop and hit 3 successes on a driving test.
All right. Well, I do have an I do have an edge. that was generously given by the chat. So we'll go ahead and pre-edge this particular roll.
Okay, so slide that edge button on and the toggle and make the roll.
All right.
In case anyone was worried, because Gertrude sure wasn't.
I was worried.
As a matter of fact, Gertrude just very quickly and very nonchalantly just wheel to the right, hops up on a curb, turns left. You be quiet, Satchel. Turns left off the curb as the cars pass by, crosses the road while the other car is actually going to come up, because if she had stayed there, it would have hit her on that side, and then just kind of weaves in between two parked cars into like another sort of parking lot, wheels it to the left, and stops just for a moment to let the rest of the traffic pass by. The car's already stopped when Satchel realizes, do we hit a curb? Because he sure didn't feel it. That smooth.
Ooh.
It was
Nice
thinking about those
driving.
hot dogs that gave her that inspiration.
Yes.
Look, Satchel, I know that you're worried about going fast, but I got you. I'm really good at going fast.
You're right. I should trust you more. There's not snow on the ground right now, right?
No, there's like patches on the sidewalks and like pushed up against buildings and stuff where it's been plowed in, and still there's like ice and stuff. But for the most part, it's not. There's not ice and snow.
You're a great driver.
Thanks. I like to do it.
Yeah, that was a lot of like fast and then slow and then fast again and then to the left and fast and then slow and then it was like an entire episode of Dukes of Hazzard in like 5 seconds. And with that, you just kind of slowly creep up to the checkpoint there. There's like a couple Lone Star officers. One like pokes his head up because they were shooting as they drove past. He's like, and he sees you and just kind of waves you through. And on you go, driving a bit. You make a left turn to head down. What did I say it was? I think it was Addison. Yeah, West Addison. You're driving down West Addison for a little bit, and let me roll some dice, because I like rolling dice too.
Rolling dice is always satisfying.
Yeah.
That's what Beyonce said.
And also...
That's a good song.
That's what Beyonce said is a good song?
No, 7-Eleven by Beyonce.
Oh.
Man, this feel like rolling dice. Why am I even trying? I know you don't know the song. Why am I even...
Love's got me looking crazy right now.
Right, that's the only...
I know, right? Yeah.
That's like the only one you know. That's like if you don't know Michael Jackson's Thriller, like that's the...
All right, so as you folks are driving, Satchel, you notice something odd. About 2 blocks down, there's a van. It looks kind of beat up, and it is kind of pulled, like it's nosed out into the street just a little bit, and someone is sitting in the driver's seat. And you get the sense that they're kind of like a little nervous, maybe. And then like you lock eyes, and just a little too long before they kind of turn away suspiciously. And you see some movement, kind of someone moving behind, but you can't really see what that is because there's like some dumpsters and other things in the way. But it really scratches that sort of this don't feel right feeling that you have sometimes.
So like turns to Gertrude and then like motions to the van and is like, I think there's something not going on over here.
I cast
You-
increase reflexes before anything happens.
Okay.
Come on.
Is there any way we can take like a different way, like move around them or move around this van, something like that?
Yeah, are they?
Well, I mean, if you just
following us,
drive,
If you use the vehicle,
right?
I'm afraid
Like
that the
you see
van's gonna
movement.
come out.
Like when I say you see movement, there's something happening behind the van, right? So it's not like you feel like this van's gonna like run out and ram you kind of thing. It's like,
That's the vibe I was getting. I thought they were okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I feel that that's what you were interpreting. So no, there's people behind the van. So I mean, if they are gonna ram you, then they're leaving whatever's going on behind the van behind.
Do you see what's going on over there?
No, I was driving. Do we need to get out and help? What's happening?
Something doesn't feel right. Yeah, can we stop?
do you guys want me to do a sense, or are we just gonna drive past this?
Oh yes, it's been a while. I forgot you have crazy eyes. Can you?
Don't shade me, dude.
I'm not. I mean,
Too early.
crazy good,
We just
crazy good.
started the mission.
You're the one that's. Why are you so
Satchel being
hostile?
Satchel.
Yeah. So yeah, could you just check it out, man?
There's a word that's in that sentence that hasn't been properly placed.
And I just stop talking to him and just, like start looking at the van.
Would you be
Gonna
kind
give
to
down
please assent?
Thank
for us?
you, Gertrude, for having manners. Remember, I'm a southern Nocturna elf, and I don't play about manners. So, I go to a little section, get myself comfortable, and I place my hands on my knees, twerk a little bit, and then I assent.
All right, so you actually project, leaving and kind of hop up. You could see the van. It's the Darcy's kind of this sort of like box shape, kind of moving down, and looking ahead, you definitely see several auras. So you kind of zoop up there pretty quick. Go ahead and give me that a sensing test.
Okay. Dee boop boop. Where are you? Oh, that's right. I did the double tap. There it is. Here you are. Boop. Boop. Whoop.
All right. There are definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see about 5 auras.
Okay.
You can't get a read on them. So the assensing is not to see what's going on. It's just to like actually read the auras to see, like to check for magic, cybernetics, or like health levels of health and stuff. The actual the shapes of what they're doing, that's a little more apparent to you just as just looking. You see, it looks like one person. There's a person on the ground, just
Like
lying on the ground,
sitting?
not moving. Nope, lying down on the ground.
Lying down
There's
the ground, not moving.
Right. There's another person kind of standing next to the van, maybe. There is a third person at the back of the van. Looks like maybe they're holding a door open, and the other person is sort of has got the last person under their arms and seems to be like dragging them back towards the van. That's what you see.
Okay. Wow, guys. So either somebody's getting killed or they're filming porn.
Or
I
both.
can't quite tell just because I couldn't get a read on their auras. I wasn't sure if it was like bouncing around. Yeah, from what I saw, it was either that or they're doing like team building exercises, but I don't really understand why they would be doing that.
It's the C zone. Someone got geeked or someone's getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I would lean on kidnap just because I didn't see a cameraman, so I doubt it's the porn. And I mean, I don't know. It's a little odd time of day to be doing team building exercises. It's almost like a corporate getaway. But yeah, I'm gonna guess that somebody's either getting kidnapped or they're disposing of a body.
Opening
So we could just
gunpoint.
ignore this because it really doesn't have anything to do with us. But I mean, if we want to get nosy,
I'm still gonna increase reflexes, like just in
Alright.
case.
Y'all let me know. I can pull over.
Duryea, whenever you hear Sarah say she's going to cast increase reflexes, that's
cast
like
it too.
for you to do that.
I know, but it's not my turn.
We're not in
We're not in
order
a
yet.
turn base yet, so you can kind of just, as long as we're not.
So if I
interrupting each
say
other,
cast reflexes, I don't have to roll. I just automatically get them.
We do still have to roll, but we don't have
To
to
see how
wait our
good.
turn to roll. We can start with faster initiative rather than being slow as fuck for the first round.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast increased reflexes as well
At force 4.
at force 4. Boop,
All right.
boop, 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 boop. If I can find, okay, okay, boop, boop.
All right. So for you used improve invisibility instead of increased reflexes.
That said,
I just wanted to make sure that our GM was on it and he didn't even catch it. So
that said, it's the same dice pool and also the same drain for you. So go ahead.
So
and just hit
that's
the drain
fine.
button.
So what you get now, Daria, in your attributes next to initiative,
yes,
you're gonna put in +4 plus 2d6.
how do I do that?
I'll take care of it.
Thanks,
Okay.
Danny.
Awesome. Do I need to
And then-
click the drain?
Yep, roll your drain.
Come on, come on, come on! Yes. My major is back. I noticed something about Kaida. His magic's better at the beginning of the missions. He's kind of got a chip on his shoulder about a certain party member bothering him all the time with his magics. He won't leave me alone about it.
Thanks for clarifying, because I thought you were talking about me.
No, because you're a magic person, so it makes you're here with it, and you're also elf.
I'm glad that it's only 50% of the time that you're going to be up my ass about.
Okay, so with that, you have cast some spells. As you're driving forward, Gertrude, and kind of looking, you see that, so the van's kind of nosed out. The doors in the back are open, and it's set up so that it's really hard to see exactly what's going on behind the van as it's kind of pulled up towards the street. The guy in the van itself, in the driver's seat, is that is probably one of the most serious mean mugs that you've seen lately. But
Are they out in the lane of traffic at all?
no, so the nose is like out, and then the van is like on the sidewalk, and there's like a side street, like a very small alley there. And so whatever they're doing is in the back, and it's mostly blocked off by the open doors of the van, so that it can't. The rear doors are opened out, so it's hard to see like what exactly is going on. But definitely looking like a sort of the guy in the front. He definitely feels very much like, I'm paying attention to what's going on because we might have to move quickly or fight or do a thing or who knows. But it's also the zone, so hard to say exactly what is going on.
So I don't know how magic works. Is it possible to like make a small animal like run out in front of the van to give me an excuse to bump into them? That's if y'all want to help. If y'all want to stop. If you don't want to stop, I'll keep moving. But that's the thought I had, to give us an excuse to get out and and get involved.
I mean, you're furry, right? Can't you just like run out in front of the van?
Wow.
I just look at Flea because usually she knows what to do in these type of situations.
Who wants to get involved and who wants to keep going?
Is this part of the mission that we just got sent on?
Nope.
I think there's our answer.
Yes,
I'm
there's
always
no-
down for helping people, so that's my vote.
So much
I see.
work.
She's driving the van. I'll go with her.
It's kind of hard to argue with that. And I mean, it's not her job, but someone's getting kidnapped off the street.
All right, stop the van. Everybody out. Let's do this.
You all are actually making me the satchel of this mission.
You did that to yourself, bro.
I just want to get paid. Damn it.
We will.
I do.
All right. Now, I don't
turn
wanna
on
hear
my
all this,
wired reflexes.
Summon a spirit, Kaida. Use telekinesis, Kaida, from a certain person in this mission either then. And then
I don't know.
Kaida,
You do
Kaida
you,
looks,
buddy.
then
I'm-
looks directly at Satchel and
While
throws his
Kaida
eyebrow
is
up.
fishing, I'm getting out of the van.
I'm already out of the van.
So then before we start moving, Kaida's gonna cast Mind Net.
Okay. So when Kaida's gonna cast Mind Net now, you do have a spell already up, so you're at -2 for that. Okay, that's in there.
Can't we just not do that this once? Do I have any auto hits?
Everything.
Somebody cheered.
have
You
Smackdown.
have a NERPs, so you can get a +3. You can force me to re-roll. You have an edge, so you can re-roll your misses. And then you also have a Smackdown, which will give you 4 net hits.
I only have one Smackdown. I should have 2.
Oh, I see one.
He should. I think you got an edge earlier, and then a
I know
smackdown.
I just got a Smackdown from. I was reading it.
Yeah,
I'm
Tom
gonna
might
say-
not have updated it yet.
Okay, but I saw you in the chat. I'm gonna say this wrong, but Arigad, thank you for the Smackdown. I appreciate it. So what does the Smackdown do?
4
I'm
net
gonna
hits.
say you succeed. You do the thing. In this case,
I'm
4
gonna do a
net hits
Smackdown.
wouldn't be enough
ahead,
because
never mind.
4 doesn't get you all 5 people. But for the nature of the thing, I'm just gonna say you get the 5.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Smackdown automatic, freaking Mind Net, and then as soon as I Mind Net, I continue talking shit. Now they
Okay.
can't block me out.
So I do want you to make a drain roll.
Oh, you won't just let me live.
No, that's the cost of magic, buddy.
4
That's-
drain.
Oh.
So 4 is the drain.
So okay, how do I do a drain roll?
You're just gonna since you didn't actually cast the spell, you're just gonna push the drain button at the top of your spells list. It says drain. So you just push it.
Okay.
No modifiers if it asks. Boom, good to go. See, she's just fine. You just did it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You're good.
Hmm.
So with that, the team is slowing down to stop. The 2 elves have increased reflexes, and Kaida has just, pardon me, thrown up a Mind Net. And we're
I
gonna take
wired reflexes
10
as
minutes,
well.
and then we'll be back and see what plays out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. Tune into the ads. If you're looking for something to do in the meantime, join our Discord server, join our Patreon, and you get bonus edge to give away, and you get lots of extra content like the character creation sessions for these characters. So we'll see you back in 10.
So here we are, driving a van down the street, and there's a van up here. So what are we doing? Are we just stopping and getting out to say what's up, or are we? I had this strange vision of Gertrude just slamming Darcy into the van for some reason. I don't know where that came from.
As we get out, or we're all hopping out, I'm going to go with the friendly approach and start with, I see someone's injured. We happen to have an ambulance. Her name is Darcy. Can we take a look at your fallen comrade?
So I'm presuming then that Darcy has indeed stopped.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. All right. So so Darcy has stopped, and looks like Flea has hopped out and is approaching.
Follow her just to show a little bit
Sure.
of muscle.
The fellow in the car gets out, and he is bald. He looks like someone threw him out the back of a car on the highway while they were driving really, really fast, and he wasn't wearing any leather clothing. Right, he just it's like got all scraped up, and his eyes are just this sort of milky blank stare.
Do you need
As
help
he hops out of
too?
the car. No, we're fine. Just one of our friends is got drunk, and we're just kind of loading him into the van. We're just to head back home. We don't like to be out too long. People kind of get a little antsy when we're around, But yeah, thanks for your concern.
Well, we have I have a stim patch if you need to wake him up. It's probably easier to move him if he's conscious.
No, we're yeah, we bump him around a lot, as that's what he gets for being drunk like that, and really forcing us to have to deal with it. Go ahead, if you would like there for Flea, make a con check, just straight up con
Sure.
check.
Oh,
Sometimes they say it's the eyes, right? You can see they're lying by the way their eyes kind of dart around or whatever. But this guy's eyes, they don't dart around anywhere. He's just really, really, really shit at lying.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look anyway at your friends. So just hang tight for just a moment.
I think it would be best if you just moved along. And with that,
And I think it would be best if you got back in the van.
oh
Okay.
shit! And so as soon as she says that,
he opens the door to the van to get in.
Wait. Did they already loaded the guy in the van or not?
And Danny, I've turned on all my boosters that I need to. And by the way, I'm going to use command voice for that.
wait, hold up. Okay, so at this point, we're all mind controlled together, and I'm like, Flea, clearly you're feeling froggy today. So is this going down?
He's I shoot back he doesn't want us checking him out, which means we're absolutely going to check him out.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I want to summon a spirit.
Okay. Hold that thought. Commanding voice.
Yeah, commanding voice.
So when you told him this, you decided to do it with commanding voice. So go ahead. Yes. Go ahead and make a leadership test. Or intimidation. Your choice.
Leadership.
Yeah. So you said that, and he's like starting to turn. He's like, yeah. And he opens the door. He's opening the door to the van. So, Kaida, would you like to summon a spirit while this is going down? You said. Yes, he does. He does want to summon a spirit as this is going down.
Yes. I don't know which one. I'm sorry. I was looking at the list of spirits.
So you've got a spirit of beast, you got a spirit of the earth, you got a spirit of air, water, and spirit of man.
Okay. Spirit of man, what does that do?
Okay, so let's take a moment to look at the thing. So you have access to actually look at these now, right? So
yes.
So when you're looking at
I can just click on them and
so you can click on the character sheet and actually look at their stats now. Okay? I did that. I did that just for you. So what you got is you got
much information.
Well, you got your same stats like you have, right? Body, agility, reaction, right? That's that BAR stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry too much about all that stuff. What you really want to see is down here where it says gear and powers. They don't have any gear.
Okay.
So under powers, this is the powers they always have. So they always have an astral form, right? They get summoned. They're in the astral. Okay. They always have materialization because they can then switch over to the material plane. They always have sapience, which just means they are intelligent. And then different ones have different things. So they might have binding or guard or movement power. So these are all these powers. And then under the gear, those are powers that not all of them have, but you can choose for them based on how strong your spirit is, right? So
this is epic.
Do you need a spirit to murder stuff, or do you need a spirit to support you in doing stuff?
Come on, Darius. The right answer.
Do I need a spirit that murders people, or do I need a spirit that can help me not murder people? Is that the question?
That's the question.
What do I want, or
what do you want to do? You're running out of time.
I want to summon a spirit. You know, I think I know it without even looking at the list. I want to summon a spirit who can protect us if we need protecting, but also can help us if we need help. So I'm going to go for a spirit that I think is both powerful and gentle. I'm going to go for the spirit of water.
All right. Very good. So summon this one. You're going to summon it for 6 just to speed things up. That's a decent power level.
I have to press summon, right? Okay, summoning.
Yes. So summoning force is 6.
It didn't ask me for a force.
Okay, so don't do. Interesting. Let's take a look at that because it should have asked you for a force.
Nope.
Oh no, I know why. It doesn't matter. So you tell me force 6. You got 3 hits on yours, so I am going to roll some dice to not be summoned because that's how that works. And I get to roll 6 dice. That's why. It's not a spell. 3. You fail to summon the spirit. Unless you want to post edge that.
I want to post edge that.
Okay. Out of 10 dice, you got 3 hits, so 7 of them were misses. So go ahead and hit that dice and hit 7 so that you can roll 7 additional dice. Four. You summon the water spirit, spirit of water. It has 4 services, so 4 things you can tell it to do before it will go away. However, you do take 6 drain, so you have to roll your drain stat against 6. Yeah. Ooh. That's going to be a headache.
It's okay.
Do you have any more edge or something you want to spend?
What would I spend it on? I actually do have
on re-rolling the drain. So you had there's
I don't think I do have another edge. Do I have another edge?
10 dice.
You have your edge. What's your edge score on your attributes?
My personal edge?
Yep.
You're speaking another language now.
We'll
get
do
it back
that.
when you like sleep or whatever.
Oh, I get it back when I go to sleep. Where would I look for my edge?
It's under your
Uh,
attributes, like your charisma and your intuition and all that.
Okay. Essence,
And
edge.
core.
I got 2 edges. I don't like that.
I
Nerps
also
is for. Nerps is before, right?
Yeah, you have to roll that before though.
Okay. I don't want to do that one. I'll use that one later. I'll just take the 6 drain. I'll be all right.
Okay. You take.
What
the
was
6
that
drain.
lesson that I learned from the people in the chat? They said if my head's not bleeding or my nose isn't bleeding, then I'm not doing it right. So
That's true. Okay, so you have taken some drain now, but you do have this spirit of water. By the way, if we're looking at the map, everybody remember he decided that his spirits were all dragons. So I made sure that he has some nice
Oh,
Pretty.
Yeah,
nice
nice.
dragons. So there we go.
ooh.
All right. So there is your spirit of water ready to do your bidding. However, that's all the extra actions anyone gets because, yes, this guy went into the van as you asked him, but not to drive away or to be quiet or to sit and be pretty, but to grab his assault rifle to murder you all with.
He gonna try.
Fairly obvious play,
See?
so I'm not going to do any surprise rolls. Everyone go ahead and roll for initiative.
Yay!
Click your tokens.
Click your token, click the initiative button.
Thank you for your reminder. I was about to fuck that up.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
It's all good.
Spirit of water, summon thee and protect us from thy weapons of bullets. How do I get to? It won't let me scroll into the image. I'm trying, you guys. It's not letting me scroll into the image. Sorry.
Scroll into the image? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like, it's like a big one. I'm trying to scroll down to it to click my token, but when I do, it doesn't show me. It won't let me. It'll get like X'd out of the thing. I think I got it.
Here, how about that? Does that help? I moved it out of the van.
I think so. No, because he's up there. I think that's me. Whatever. And I'm rolling. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. You'll get it.
There you go.
Okay.
Not last.
All right. Spirit of Water gets initiative as well.
I clicked my token and did it, but it's not showing up on the tracker.
Try again.
Okay.
It might be that because there was a bunch of like leftovers from before, and so I was trying to clear it out, and I might have cleared your thing out. So, and does this work if I do it this way? I guess it does. All right. I got to figure out why my Roll20 goes so slowly. It's probably because I have so many other things going on the computer. Whoa! That's pretty fast.
You use edge? It says
Because-
plus edge.
I have 4. My character just has 4 edge.
Okay, so you
So-
you pre-edge on your initiative. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Don't we
No,
have
that's because of his.
right?
That's because of his thing, right?
Yep. Okay, very cool. Well, Satchel, you are first.
So, as he's going for his rifle, I say over the mind link gun, and I start moving like around the van to come at him from a different angle.
Okay. Well, what you see is what you get. So so how you wanting to do that? Come around the front. You can go around the back.
Yeah, I'll go around the back of Darcy, and then I'll pull out the scorpion that I just got, and then I'll put a stick and shock, and it's loaded with stick and shock.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Next up is Flea.
Nerve strike, baby.
All right, so you're gonna move up on this guy and nerve strike him.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where he is on this, so.
So it's that guy right there. Yep. So you move up to him and go ahead and attack. He is going to try not to get attacked because that's how we do.
So it's an unarmed attack, right?
It is unarmed strike. All right. Oof. He does not get out of the way. So that is going to be 3, 4, 5 damage that he gets
That
to
affects
soak,
its agility, right?
or his reaction, your choice.
What's
Oof.
agility isn't gonna impact him shooting me, right?
Agility is what you use to attack. That said, he did soak, so you weren't able to press through his armor jacket.
Oh,
'Cause
what
he
a
does have an
dick.
armor jacket. Yeah. Fucking
All
guy.
right. Move on. Next time I'll hit him harder.
Yeah. That thing's waiting for a command, so it will hold action until Kaida tells it what to do. Gertrude, they all just ran out and are just running across the street now. It's crazy. It's just like the van is safe, but whatever.
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna stay in the van, but I'm gonna roll the window down and pull out my shotgun, and I would like to aim it at the front wheel of their van.
Okay, you take aim. Would you like to then, well, roll window, aim? Okay, so aim. All right, so next round you can fire with that with the benefit from that. All right, hearing some trouble, someone comes around from the back.
I don't get to go?
No, it's not your
Not
turn.
yet.
You
Okay.
are. Where are you?
I don't know.
I don't know where you are either. You're not in the thing. What did you roll?
We rolled a 14,
I got it.
but he's not on the track.
You
Yeah.
must not have clicked your guy.
I told you I couldn't click it
You're having
because it
you're-
wouldn't let me pick.
because
on
you're
the
having
screen,
trouble.
It wouldn't let me.
I
Right,
can't,
but I just
computer.
I know I rolled initiative anyway. It's fine.
Right.
I'm not upset.
I'll just go ahead and push this button for you, and
Thank
I'll
you.
give you the better of the two. So what would we get?
It's exactly the same.
Oh,
The same
it's the
thing.
same.
It's exactly
Okay.
the same thing.
You need to pick
So-
one.
You go. So you go after Gertrude. Anyway, up here. Come on now. Come on now. Go up. And are you in the right place now? You are in the right place now. Yeah. Cool. You're in the right place now. Good.
Okay.
So just one moment. And yeah, so this guy kind of runs around from the back, and he just kind of takes a quick moment to look at what is going on. Sees that someone is attacking that guy, and tries to knife her. You're getting knifed. Flea is getting knifed. So he just like rears back. He's like, "Hey!" and he's like running forward with the big old knife.
My combat sense gives me a +1 to defense rolls too.
Yes. It should be calculated in there.
Oh, okay. So I'm doing my reaction plus intuition?
Defense. So go to your core combat info. And there is a shield button right on the top where it says primary armor. That
Aha!
shield button is your defense.
And add a +1.
I don't know if you can beat the 1. Okay. All right, you did it. That was close. That guy almost ruined your day. Yeah, so you just kind of nimbly bimbly back off from that. As Etienne.
All right. Etienne sees that Flea went there and did her kung fu stuff, and the guy didn't even shrug. Hit him in the jacket. It's like, that's not good. So he's gonna move over, get a good lineup. Level is AK-97 and unleash 10 bullets on the guy. So 10-round burst.
Okay, yeah, that is what you're going to do. What is the recoil compensation on that?
Recoil compensation. Let me look. He had unfolded as we were in the car and people were casting spell is thing. Let me make sure. But if I remember correctly, recoil is gonna affect my next shot, not that one, isn't it?
Oh no, it affects whatever
All right.
you don't have enough to compensate for.
All right. Let me make sure on that sheet. Where would I find that?
All right, so if you look at your character sheet,
Recoil compensation is 4. So
4.
I found it.
So 10 bullets. The first one's free, so that means recoil is 9, but your compensation is 4, so that means your recoil is 5. So -5 to your attack roll.
All right, let's do this. And what do I have as a bonus from people? Let's check Benny's. I do have a NERP, so I'm gonna have a NERP to compensate some of that. So I'm at
All right.
-2 at that point.
That makes sense to me.
All right.
Six hits with the AK-47 stick and shock. Accuracy is 8, so you keep them all.
Mm-hmm.
7 stun plus your net hits. AP -5. So let me roll my defense.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, well, when you have 0 dice to roll,
That's
you're gonna get 0 hits. That's just how that sort of works. So -5 to his armor. So we're going to -5 the soak. However, there is stick and shock, so never mind. So that's going to be 7 plus 6 damage, which is 13 minus 8, 5. 5 he takes. So 5 stun as he takes this damage. Oops. He's also at a additional -1 modifier to all of his rolls. And he loses 5 to his initiative.
Indeed.
Which, unfortunately for him, he had 14, so that means that he now has only 1 turn. And it's not yet. Very good. Kaida.
Danny?
Mhm.
I asked the chat about this because I'm reading Nerve Strike, and it doesn't look like Soak affects it.
Okay.
So it's if I yeah, it's just intention to employ melee attack. If successful, I choose to reduce the opponent's agility or reaction by 1 per net hit instead of inflicting physical or stun. That's it.
Right, but it's instead of inflicting physical or stun, it doesn't say one way or the other that armor doesn't work. So what you're so check this out. This is where this breaks down, right? Is let's say that they're wearing mil-spec armor. They're in a robot suit, and you try to nerve strike them. It's not just like free agility or reaction.
Hinges. I can get my fingers in there.
Yeah. So it doesn't say. So it just says that the damage changes from physical or stun to reduce agility or reaction. It doesn't say that you bypass armor. It doesn't say anything about armor, right? So you just use the default setting of that, which is normally they get armor. So who wants to fight me in chat, huh?
Robert Loper.
You know who I am! All right.
And
even if that's not what's the rule now.
I'm right.
Who?
Terralge and Robert Loper.
Okay, well. Yeah, but I'm the one who changes the rules.
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
I have a jar of
I agree.
Desk for,
I agree with Taral J that that is a legitimate way to play it if that's how you want to play it. Because it doesn't specifically say. That said, like I said, I feel like that starts to break down when you start getting into really high levels of armor, right? It's basically like, because with a good strike, you can incapacitate someone in one hit. We saw that a couple of weeks ago, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with something that's that strong, if you're saying that no amount of armor is going to affect that, you have taken that power and put it into the realm of just massively OP. So,
I'll let you fight Loper on that.
I mean, he's the DM. He doesn't have to fight anybody.
But the writers.
It's a guideline.
So Terralge did say that Nerve Strike is massively OP. So.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Moving on. Kaida, back to what you were saying. What you were doing.
Okay. So, dear spirit of water, agile as you are, please. So at this point, just to clarify, I've seen this guy try to stab somebody and shoot somebody, correct?
Well, the one guy started to try to get a gun, but before he actually got it, Flea's moved up and tried to nerve strike him. Then the guy came out from behind and tried to stab her. Yes.
But the guy she tried to nerve strike, what happened to him?
Nothing.
He got shot a lot.
He did get shot. That is true.
But he's no longer alive?
No,
he's
he's
alive.
still alive.
Okay. Well, then I asked the spirit, because this is going to take my move, right? Just asking the spirit to do something.
Yes.
So I asked the spirit to defend us, and I don't specify how.
Okay.
Only because they've already tried to kill us. And then I send a little mental note to the group. Hey guys, it's looking like it's us or them. So Spirit's gonna do what he does.
Okay. So Spirit was holding its action. So now it's going to materialize. So now everybody sees giant dragon water spirit. All right.
Wait. Hold on. I can do fear, right?
It can do fear if you want to give it that specific command.
Ugh. I'm kind of afraid to use fear and then it not do anything. Don't look at me like that, Danny. I'm asking you to tell me what to do. No, I'm so. Let me look. Okay.
Well, for right now, the spirit is materialized. If next turn you want to tell it to do something else, you can. Right now, it's going to try to defend
Fine.
you, and maybe
Okay,
it'll use
great.
fear on somebody.
Great.
Right. Next
Yes.
up is this individual who is being fucking sneaky. One, two, okay. Great. Where is this at? Here goes. All right. Well, that's a good time. If you are Etienne, if you are Flea, if you are Kaida, I need you to go ahead and make soak rolls at -6.
Wow. I say
So,
wow because
is that
I
the
don't even know
shield?
how to do that.
Is that the so that is going to be on your armor. So in your core combat info, you could just click that sleeping tiger, and that should do it.
And you said
But
-6.
and then it'll ask you for a -6. So then you hit the -6.
Oh my god,
I see.
my stun is so heavy. All right, so -6. I still don't know where I'm looking for.
Isn't stun ball something that affects your willpower? That's a direct spell. I'm sorry. I'm
You said go
shooting
to core,
myself
right?
in the foot.
It might be.
Well, I take my armor any day.
Um,
I'm still not sure where to go to roll.
no,
this
you're right.
save.
I'm treating it like blast. So you're right. Roll willpower, everybody.
I'm sorry.
I did
Willpower,
goof on
gotcha.
that one. No, I did goof on that one. Willpower. I was treating it like blast.
Willpower?
Just willpower and nothing else.
There's no
I'm gonna use my smackdown.
So you're going
It's
to take
like
2 stun
this.
damage for every point that you don't get a hit.
2?
Oh my god.
Which is
Yeah,
why I
'cause
want to
it's
use
direct.
my smackdown.
All right. Yeah. Let me think. Let me see what I have on store.
There's too much going on. I'm gonna wait because I don't know what's going on right now.
2 damage, 2 stun damage incoming. 2. Just 2.
Okay, it's just 2
Per every.
And
You
for
said
every
like
hit
per,
you get on will, you will reduce that per hit on your will. You'll reduce that by 1.
So there's just
Okay.
2 stun damage coming in, or there's 2 per.
Oh, nice. No, there's 2
2.
stun damage.
And
You
you
resist
Etienne
said-
it
takes
with
0
your willpower.
damage. 0 damage. Etienne is taking 0 damage because he got 2 hits on his willpower roll.
All right, that's not what it's
0
on.
damage.
Yes, you said attribute is body and willpower.
Just willpower.
Just willpower.
Just willpower. Just willpower.
Just willpower. Got you. Okay.
I think I like slurred my words together, and the per made it sound like per hit you get, you're going to take 2 damage or something.
So I didn't get damaged either.
Yep. Nope. You're good.
By the way, I forgot to tell y'all, like once the spirit corporealized, I leaned against the van.
Okay.
Somebody in the
So-
chat said I should be leaning, and that'll make my spirit be better. I'm sorry. Just interacting, Danny.
Oh, okay.
I am just trying to click on something here. But Roll20 is technical difficulties. I'm refreshing Roll20. So I'm just going to wait for that to happen. Yeah, I might have like slurred the words together in a way that made it sound like you're gonna take 2
Yeah,
damage per
kind of.
hit,
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Which-
I want a SmackDown
which
because
is
I'm
like the better you do, the more you're gonna get hurt.
Well, no, I thought that like for every net hit that he got over us, we would take 2, but
Right.
that doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, no, direct damage is direct, right? So it skips your armor, but the drawback is that it does only the hits and damage. So that's why, like when I said I was treating it like blast, because blast would reduce your armor by the
Yeah.
amount, and it's the base damage, the force. So, but it's not blast. All right, now I think I'm back, and I think I'm set. Here we go. Please work, program. Do what I tell you to, machine. Yes? Yes. All right, very good. All right, 1 stun for you, and that happened. Next up is going to be this guy who just heard a lot of gunfire coming from Etienne. So he is going to step around, pull out his gun.
Where do I track my stun, by the way?
If you go to your character sheet
Yes.
and you click on
Core.
core,
Yes.
you have condition monitor.
Yes.
Click the arm and hammer if it doesn't make sense.
I love the arm and hammer. Now I can see it all.
Yay. Yes, that's so yeah, that helps. Also, if you click on your token, it will expand. Red is physical, green is stun, blue is how much edge you have.
Cool. Thank you.
Or blank, I think. All right, so now that I did that, it displaced all of my stupid character sheet toggles, so thank you, roll 20. All right, so he's gonna shoot at you. Here comes, he's got his Ares Predator, he pulls it out, and he takes aim, firing it at Etienne. 2 hits.
All right, Etienne's gonna try and dodge that. Aha!
All right. So ducking back kind of behind the car, you manage to not get shot by the bullets. Oh, this guy finally gets to go. Seeing as how he's been attacked and also you have stopped him from going after his gun the way he wanted to, he actually lashes out. No. He's lashing out at you with his claw, with a clawed hand.
But I told him to get his ass in the van.
Yeah. Claw. 3 hits. You must.
Hit the shield.
Yes, hit the shield for defense to see if you get hit.
I'm gonna use an edge.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't have very many dice, do I? Actually, you know what? I won't use it here. I'll use it with my armor if I need to.
All right. So that is going to be 9 physical that you need to block, and -1 to your armor. So when it asks for a modifier, click -1.
Now I'll post edge.
All right. You need 5 to not take any.
So I rolled 19. So I rolled 18 dice, and I got. So I re-roll 14.
Yes.
There we go.
All right. So with that, yeah, he tries to rake those claws. What are you doing? It
Thank you,
randomly
chat.
decided
By the
to-
way, for the edge, I appreciate you. I think that one was
It randomly decided to pop my chat out of the thing. So I guess.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't know that was pop outable, but it is. There it is, popped out. I've got gremlins today. What can I say? All right, so that was his action. I believe that brings us back to Satchel.
Seeing all the stuff go down, he takes a knee by the back of the van, and then he throws a burst at the guy that just clawed Flea.
Okay, legit. So that's going to be a -2 to the attack because it's burst fire, and there's no recoil compensation on that particular weapon.
Modifier.
Oh, that is a hit. So in order to not get hit, he has to beat 5. He's at -1 for the one thing. So, and then additional wound penalties apply as well. Let's see if he gets out of the way. No, he does not. You said this was stick and shock, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that is, we're going to change that up a little bit, but that's fine. -5. Let's see how much damage he takes. 2 plus 6 is 8. 4. Okie dokie. It's an additional 4. And is he still up? He looks like he's still up. A little wobbly, but he does not hit the ground. Flea, the guy that just clawed you, he's looking unsteady, but still on his feet. The guy standing on the other side of you has pulled out his gun and is shooting at Etienne, and then there's your friend with a knife. And you're in the midst of it all.
Right where I like to be.
Right where you like to be.
Since everyone's wearing armor and nerve strike, I'm gonna go ahead and try just punching them with penetrating strike.
Okay.
So that's unarmed again, right?
It is.
Just making sure I don't get any bonuses. Okay.
All right, 3 hits. His defense is... He does not defend, so your damage is 3 plus 2 is 5 is your base damage. He's going to attempt to soak. 6.
He has a minus because she used penetrating strike. However, I don't know at what level her power is.
It's 2.
-2 on that.
Yes. So if you look at the thing...
Oh, okay, yeah, it's right there. I'm so
you'll
sorry.
see my -2 there. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I no longer like these because I suck.
You just need to be stronger.
I need a GM that's nice to me.
Oh, y'all.
You just need to be stronger.
Can I have 50 karma, please?
There are ways to get stronger. Push-ups. Do them now.
I stopped fighting and started doing fucking push-ups.
Young Skywalker, there are ways to become stronger.
All right.
Get cyberwares.
Okie doke. So, Spirit of Water
It's
looms
dragon
over
time.
and is going to use its fear power on the guy with a knife.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Did you want it to do something else? I thought you wanted
Yes, I
it to use its
absolutely
fear
did. I
power.
wanted it to do something else that I wanted it to do, so that I didn't ask it to do that. So when they did that, it would be blameless.
Well, no, that's what it's doing. It's you didn't ask it to do fear. I told you that your command was defend us.
Right.
So it's
And
choosing to use
it's
its
defending
fear.
us. Yes.
Yeah, choosing to
that's
use its
fine.
fear to defend you, so you don't get used up on the thing. And I'm doing this because so you can see how fear works.
Awesome.
So, fear power. Wait. This is the wrong spirit for fear.
Oh, it doesn't do fear?
They don't do fear. So it's gonna do something else instead.
Ooh.
That's fine. That's fine. It's gonna do
Okay.
something else instead.
It's not my turn, so I don't get to tell it what to do anyway. That's fine.
Yeah, that's funny.
What he does do, though.
Guys, I'm getting pity perks from the chat. It's great.
What's a pity
Use
perk?
those. Use those to do damage.
Thanks.
Yeah, use those to do damage. Charisma, I guess I'll use that. All right, so it is going to roll, and it does it gets 5 hits, and this guy, to defend against whatever it is he's doing, is going to roll his
Sapience. Nice.
his sapience.
No, that's one of the things he can do.
All right. So, he kind of stumbles back with the knife and looks at it and then kind of tries to lunge forward. Meanwhile, what's Gertrude doing in the van now?
What did the
I'm
dragon
going
do?
to shoot out a front tire with my aimed action.
All right, so +1 to your shooting.
Does that
Sorry,
go in
I'm not
the modifier?
Yeah, when that's for the modifier, it's +1.
Okay.
Did the dragon spirit actually do anything?
Maybe. That is 4 hits.
Okay.
The van is not dodging out of the way at all. So it's just gonna take that. That's 16 is the damage there at -5 to the armor. I think it only has 4 armor, so I'm gonna do a -4 only and hit the soak button. So out of 16 damage, it soaks 5, so it takes 11 damage. It was already pretty beat up looking, and you actually the force of it actually not only pops the tire, but it hits the rim and kind of knocks it askew, and you feel like unless they go get their alignment checked and repaired, they're probably not going to be able to drive very fast at all.
Well, the condition that van was in was already personally offensive to me, so.
Yeah, you're just like it's kind of like
Put it
a
out
horse
the
that broke
pasture.
his leg. You're just like,
Yeah.
I gotta just put you down.
I'm doing them a favor.
Yeah, get a new van. Really, no, really. All right, so yeah, that's a thing that happened, and then this guy, he is looking at his knife, and then he kind of stumbles forward, almost drunkenly, and swings it kind of in Flea's direction. I don't know if he's gonna hit it, but he's gonna try, I guess. Try that. See if that works. Okay, I get it. All right. You kind of have to move out of the way if you don't want to get cut on your cheek, Flea. It's a really clumsy strike, but
I'll make my roll.
That is going to hit. But for 0 damage, you kind of turn your shoulder into it. You're like confused by what he was doing, and then when he like finally lashed out, he kind of caught you unaware to like back off, but you threw your shoulder into it, and Sleeping Tiger, worth every Nuyen that you
So
spent on it.
I'm gonna look up at him at that point, and so you know how my face is split, and I do the hair over the one side, and it's white on one side and red on the other. I'm gonna
Yes.
flip it all over so that the red side shows. I'm getting pissed because nothing I'm doing is helping. It's scary. Real scary.
I can dig it. Okay. Etienne?
Etienne, well, he just unleashed a bunch of bullets. It hit the guy. He's not down, but he's shaking. He got shot at. He's going to take a second to reassess his aim again at this guy. So he's going to
you have
reset
cleared your
his...
recoil?
Yep, and he's going to go for just a simple 3-round burst, because in a simple action, that's all he can do, right?
If he's on burst fire, yes.
That's what he does.
All right. Wait, so you're taking a free action to switch to burst fire? Because you were on full auto.
Oh, I have to switch the mode. Yeah, because I have Smart Link, I can do that as a free action, right?
As a free action? Yep.
I'm taking my free action to do that. And
Very
then
good.
aiming, resetting my recoil, getting a little +1.
And he is going to have an additional negative. Ooh.
It's not great, but he's...
Yeah, he's not doing so hot right now. So let's find out what happens here.
Right, I roll directly from my skills, so the damage is not there, but I can...
Okay.
Oh, well, he's at 0. I'm at 0.
That is... Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. How many dice did he roll?
5 total?
This is really annoying. There it is. 5. Okay, he does not get any hits. Actually, because he should have rolled 2 less dice.
Okay,
that's all.
Let me just...
So he's getting hit for that.
Ignore the 8 hit. I just wanted to have the DVs and the everything, so that would be 8 stun minus 5.
Yep. Okay, so that is enough to bring him down.
Which one was that one?
The one you first started talking to.
That's the big guy in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. No longer in the fight, that guy. Kaida.
Kaida is looking at his spirit like, but he knows that he can't be disrespectful to the spirits because they have my backs. I then remind me, somebody got hit with some bullets. There's a lot that just happened. Somebody got hit with some bullets. There's 2 dudes, right? And there's one of them that's still up and there's one of them that's not, correct?
And somewhere magic happened.
Magic happened?
Yeah.
I'm confused. You didn't tell me what my dragon did.
Your dragon was doing its thing. It did a thing. And we'll explain what it did later. But what you're doing, so you know that magic happened, right? Because you could feel that it happened. It like exploded out from kind of close to the van out, and it kind of got you a little bit, but you were able to shrug off the damage, right? So somewhere is magic. If you don't see the person, then perhaps they are
Visible. Got you.
invisible. And you can see invisible people really good if you change your vision mode from regular vision to astral vision.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll go that. I'll go to my visibility mode.
All right, so you're changing vision mode over to a sensing, over to astral, and now you can definitely see a form over here. Layer down to on the other side of your spirit.
There's a guy there that we
So
can
there's
see, but you
someone-
can't see.
Okay.
Yep.
So then I tell everybody, hey, and then I point and I say, right there. No, I've already told my dragon to do something, but I can't tell him to do something else, can I?
Sure, you can. It just is
He
everything
can
he
do two
does.
things.
Yeah, he can do all the things.
Say it again.
He can do all the things. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna cheat. I don't know if it's a cheat if I do this. Can I tell it to do something and tell the group to do something?
Yes.
Since we're mind netted, kind of great.
Yes.
So I tell everybody in the group, I point to the invisible people, and then I say, rain fire. Because I've always wanted to say that.
To your water spirit.
Okay.
To everybody.
Oh. Cool. Okay.
Look, it's 2075, so it's a really old reference at this point, but Kite is kind of like he's in the classic film.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We all make vintage references.
Yes, it's a nod to the past.
It's like us making
my grandma used to watch that movie all the time when I was young. So I say rain fire, and in my opinion, everyone knows exactly what I mean. You're not saying anything. I don't know if what I'm doing is acceptable or not. You can't be quiet for too long because I think I'm doing something wrong.
You see that form running away. It's running away. So that's what happened.
Can I still do something?
No, you did all the things. You said rain fire. You
Okay.
told the thing to do the thing, and other things, and all the things, and you switched to vision
Right.
mode.
Yes. Okay. Because if I can do something else, I have more.
This guy with the gun, seeing the water spirit now, seeing everything, he is going to start running away as well. I ain't trying to die. This guy's unconscious.
They got dragons and shit.
Satchel, what do you want to do?
I say with the mind link, like, are we giving chase? And then as I start to line up move over here to the left, and then try to line up a shot on him.
The guy that's running away?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're gonna definitely have to move over here, which you have the speed to do so, because there's a house there that's in the way, right?
Okay.
And line up a shot, and if you want to shoot, you can do that too. But what you see as you come around here are two people. There's also if you look back, there's a small boy in the van, maybe 8. And then 2 people that are unconscious, look like they got beat up pretty bad, lying there.
Changes.
And you get... It's immediately apparent to you what is going on. Immediately apparent. Now that you see actually like what's back here. And you're not in the alley anymore. you're in a dark space. There's crying, shouting, ranting all around you. There's someone's laughing, and then suddenly there's just the sound of metal on metal and light that just blinds you, and you turn away from it, as you hear the roar of an engine, and a van backing into the space that you're in. Once your eyes are used to the light and you can see, and the back opens up and men come forward and drag bodies out of the van, and then the door shuts and someone drives away and they close it down, and these people that were pulled out of the van are placed into other cages, much like the one that you're in. And you know that their fate is sealed. You do not fire your weapon.
I drop my
Okay.
I drop my gun onto the ground, I guess, and then Satchel kind of gets on his knees. I'm assuming that this is a flashback, right? Okay, all right. Feels like it. All right, so he drops down to his knees and is kind of like crawls up into a fetal position, towards the back of the van, and kind of like starts like, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And as he's trying to fish for a BTL or whatever in his pocket.
All right. That ends the round. I see no reason why everybody of all of you can't just gang up on this last guy that didn't run, and take him down, with prejudice or without. Flea.
No one dies.
Okay, so as it happens, so no one dies that Flea sees, as this guy's running away, and Spirit of Water is after him.
I think the mage did something to Satchel.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he okay?
Oh, not me, mage. The other mage. Yes, I think so too.
No, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Well, look at him with your mage vision, see what's going on.
You want me to look into Satchel's head by myself?
No, not in his head. It's just that you know when you see the spirit, and yeah, and he points to.
You want me to look at Satchel's aura by myself?
Yes.
It's not like I can help you do it.
I mean, I just feel like that's asking a lot. I'm gonna need like an anchor.
Satchel, are you alright?
1,000. Oh, I mean, I was gonna do it. Come on, give me a minute. So then I throw my eyebrow back at Flea, and then I close my eyes. I twerk a little bit, and then I go into the astral mode.
You're just perceiving astrally, which you're already in that mode, kind of. So, go ahead and make a sensing test on Satchel.
Okay. I like a sensing. She's usually kind to me.
Meanwhile,
I said that on my computer glitch. Okay, boom.
All right. So 2 hits. You can see that Satchel is very much replaced with cybernetic and bioware, which you assumed, and is suffering. Is the best read that you get off of that aura. Suffering. Yeah. Meanwhile, somewhere off camera.
Meanwhile, somewhere off camera, is that for me to finish that sentence?
Nope.
Someone's getting shredded by a spirit.
Yeah. Somewhere, someone is unhappy.
I'm so confused. Okay, I'm not so confused anymore.
So those who followed that little drama as it occurred, they know. They all know what happened.
I see the numbers, but I have no idea what that means.
Sarah knows. Flea does not.
Yes. So
Okay. Oh, okay. I
For
can
you,
decide
Duryea,
from that.
so there was an attack that does 18 damage as the base. It hit because the person only defended with 2, which does not beat 5. So that's 3 additional hits. So that takes that base from 18 to 21. So that's 21 damage at -6 armor. So whatever their armor is, it's -6. So if they got an armor jacket like you do, that's 6 armor. And if their body is like 5 or 6, maybe they get like 10 dice, 11 dice. Even if all of them are hits, they're still going to take like 10 damage.
Right.
And like, how much damage can you take physical before you die?
Right. Understood.
And then they didn't get all hits. They only got 2. So they took 19 physical.
So once again, out of character, you done fucked
Right.
up.
Well, here's the thing. The agreement that we made was that we would only kill people if it was warranted. You did say that. And I feel like in this situation,
Nobody knows what happened except for
right,
Spirit of Water.
Right. I'm sorry, I was in character.
And Kaida kind of like, I mean, and Kaida doesn't really know. There's plausible deniability. Kaida knows that mission accomplished. That person is not going to come bother us again.
Right.
You don't have to.
Because Kaida doesn't lie.
So
true.
It does come back though. It was confused about you asking it to rain fire because it's a spirit of water, but it's a genius because it's got a logic of 6, so it figured it out.
So what's in the back of this van?
A kid, 8 years old, tear tracks down his muddy face, and then two
unconscious people, right?
2 unconscious people, adults, male, female.
I look at Gertrude and say, I'm glad we stopped.
Me too. And I'll get out and check people over.
Sarah is gonna kick one of the unconscious buddy, and he's gonna be like, what do we do with the buddy snatcher?
Are they dead?
No, they're knocked out. As per he gestured agreement, but I mean, I get my opinion of that kind of people, but I don't want to step on any toes.
Let me call in a favor with Nick.
What's the plan?
Let's hand him over to to Lone Star.
Lone Star being
cops,
the police.
Hard sell in the zone though.
We could deliver them out of the zone.
I mean, do you think there's 2 of them though? Like one of them has like this all bloodied up. You said like they look like they were in an accident without leather, right?
I think those old scars. So it's.
Oh, they're old scars.
They've been stunned in the regular way right now, stick and shock and such.
Did anybody try slapping them? That usually works in the movies.
We don't want to wake them up. I just want to know what we're doing with them, because they're.
I say we bind them up, put them in the van, dump them at a spot Ryder says, and let them deal with it.
All right, and Etienne is going to go in the back of his armored jacket in a pocket and takes out some zip ties, and is going to get to work zip tying them.
Okay. Gertrude, go ahead and make some sort of medicine or first aid to check out these people over here.
Sure thing. Do you have a preference for which one?
No.
We'll go for medicine.
Okay. They look like they've been roughed up, but nothing life-threatening. They'll probably be fine. Definitely not any sort of like heavy contusions or anything that is going to cause them trouble. In fact, you would say that care was taken not to cause extensive damage. All right. Kaida, go ahead and give me a magical threats knowledge check.
I actually know how to do that. Hold up. Don't. Let me. Yes, I do. And I didn't even have to ask.
Okay. So this fellow, it's not that he's all beat up and bruised or like whatever. He's a ghoul. You don't know a lot about ghouls. You know, like there's like this virus thing that if you're infected, it turns you into a ghoul. It's called HMHVV, and I would tell you exactly what that means, but I'm sure someone in chat will spell that out.
Wait, about
HMHVV.
yeah, I can't remember what the abbreviation is, but it's basically a virus that causes Daria, like in elves it causes vampirism, and I think humans it causes ghouls.
There we go.
In orcs it causes it's Wendigo or something like that. So
Makes
like
you a spooky monster.
yeah, they become like real scary things.
So that could happen to somebody on our team?
Yeah.
If we get hurt by them, or if we get in contact with their blood, and
Is there like an antidote?
no.
There's no cure. So ghouls.
Not even prayer?
I mean, you could die. That solves it.
So
That usually does.
all right. So ghoul. You do know that ghouls eat human flesh. That's the only thing they can eat. That's the only thing they do eat. And you know that this is a ghoul. Other than that, like you know that that the disease that makes that person a ghoul can be transferred to you and to your friends in a way. But
Okay.
other than that, you don't know much else about it. So one ghoul. The other guy's just an orc. He's got a jacket
Okay.
on. It
And-
says fleshmongers on the back. It's got a big skull with a drippy blood on under the jaw.
And the small child?
Small child's in the van. So if you want to go check
Yes,
that out,
but-
that's
He's not magical.
no. You're sensing the child. Yeah,
Right.
it's just a little boy.
All right, group. Let me tell y'all. This is what this is. Now, the kid in the back of the car, we should definitely return him to the police, because I'm sure there's some reward money. People are always looking for little kids when they go missing. And everything else we need to just leave where it is, because that dude has ghoulishisms. That's what I like to call it.
And it's
Ghoulishisms.
That's what I call it. It's slang that we used back in the orphanage I was in. Anyway,
you mean
I'm not going anywhere near that because
thing that eats people? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Right. So while we're over here stopping the mission to be good Samaritans, he's half dead and could make us half dead. And I feel like that one guy who everybody was treating like Satchel, who said we should just avoid all this, might have been right. I don't know.
No.
And then I just
No, that's good that we stopped.
And then I just do an all-encompassing group eyebrow to everyone, and then lean against the van.
I'm totally ignoring Daria or Kaida at this point. Is the woman okay? Is the woman all right?
She's an orc.
The other one. So the man is a ghoul, and the woman is just an orc, but she's
No. The man that tried to murder you is a ghoul.
He's a ghoul.
His partner that did not run away is an orc.
So then my entire
8-year-old
monologue
boy
that I
is
just
in the
gave
van,
was incorrect.
and there is a man and a woman unconscious, beat up behind the van.
Gotcha.
I look at Etienne and nod at the ghoul.
Etienne is changing loader in his AK and he's like, yeah? We doing this?
Dispatch it.
Okay.
Well,
Everybody step back. I'm gonna put my mask. Gertrude, you know about viruses and stuff. Should I take other protection before I blow his brains out?
A mask, gloves. If you have any sort of chemical seal suit, that would be perfect. You don't want to get any of this on you or anyone else. Some sort of riot shield, that would be great too.
I have a ballistic mask, and he takes it from his bag and put it on his face.
How about
gloves?
How about we load up the poor people in the back of the van into Darcy, and then as the doors are shutting, shoot him, and it'll splatter if it splatters, it will just hit Darcy.
I mean, ideally, I would like to not do this in front of a child.
Yeah, there's three people in there. Can someone pick up poor Satchel? Poor guy is fucking.
All right.
Okay, I can't physically pick him up, but I can levitate him back into the
Please
van.
levitate him into the ambulance.
I'll give you that one.
I'll help the kid. They're all unconscious, right?
The kid is not unconscious. The kid is shell shocked.
And the parents?
Unconscious.
Okay. I'll help the kid into the ambulance. Etienne, will you help with and Kaida, will you help with moving the parents?
Yeah.
Can I take those two?
Thank you. And then as everyone's loaded up, start pulling away, and Etienne, take your shot.
Etienne asked Gertrude for some latex gloves that he can have while he holds his AK, because that's going to change something. Puts on his ballistic mask as everyone is ready in the van, and he's going to just pump a few APDS in his brain.
Okay. The APDS rounds, they, at the risk of being a little gross, you see in movies and stuff where people get shot in the head, and there's a lot of gore and explode. With the APDS, those things are clean. They just go right through. You're pretty sure that guy's not getting up, but it doesn't really explode the head in the same way that even a regular bullet would, or something hollow pointed or whatever. Just pretty clean. And with that, you leave the scene in Darcy with a horrified young man and two unconscious parents as you head to go see what your job's about.
Yeah, are we headed back to the vault place now, or
continue to the meet? We need the job. Flea says as she prepares a trank patch for the kid.
Okay. And with that, we will close our session for the day, for the week, and come back next week to see what the job is and what we do with tranked out kid and his supposed parents. Yeah, that's it. I will confer with fellow Shadowrun nerds about Nerve Strike, and if my triad of rules mongers agrees that it is not armor doesn't work against it, then I will change my tune.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel very restricted by anything I can do at this point. Maybe I'm not understanding how to maximize my character much, but maybe either way.
So it is It is just a strength thing, and so for you right now, because your agility is good and you've got a lot of other strong things going on, your focus for like your first ads should be strength based, and also if you can get, I think it's critical strike, gives you another point of damage on your thing, because that's what you need. You need to amp up your damage on your successful attacks, because right now your base damage is 3.
Why didn't we
That's your
do
strength.
that when we built my character?
Because you only have so many points.
All right. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Hey, you got karma now, so that might be a way to do it.
Yeah. How much
Yeah.
karma did we get? I wasn't here for that conversation.
Okay, so first of all, before we go tonight, before we go, everyone in the chat, I have a question for you, because you see, we've got this benefits thing going on, right? We got the bennies, and we're tracking them. We see what we got, but we're not using them as fast as we might have, just because we're doing a lot more like role play and stuff. My question to you all: so at the end of the adventure, if how does the chat feel if any like unused points can get rolled over into karma? Is everyone okay with? Are you guys okay with that in chat?
Ooh.
Like,
I am
so
very
like a smackdown would be worth, like 4 karma,
6 karma.
or 4 karma, or 3, and then
I
the
don't
other,
understand.
so
that
Danny,
sounds.
when you said that number just now, it sounded like you were speaking another language. You said what? 12 karma?
I would just like
17?
Palos Apap, Tim just shut me the hell up because he was like, sounds good to me, and then says, you're gonna need it. And I was like, I'm very, oh fuck.
Yep.
Eep.
They do roll over, Beth. They so yeah, they stay on. But at the end of the mission, we found that there were just some left over, and so what? So at the end of the mission, so not like just at the end of a session or whatever. So like those stay rolled over, and then at the end of the mission, if there's any left over, then because they're not going to have as many opportunities for karma as you would in a normal mission cycle, because they're not going to do all the CMPs. They're not going to get to play like the April Fool's missions or whatever necessarily. I might do one. Maddie will be happy if I do, but I'm not going to do a bunch of them, right? So they're not going to get as much karma as they might normally then. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got
and this way they can.
karma, and this is episode 6, which means we've now played for 18 hours.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I think that's a good idea, personally.
I think it's good as long as our chat is happy with it, and then we can just, this point of strength brought to you by. So yep. All right. So that's settled then, and we will work that in. And until then, that's our session. Thank you all for joining us.
Cool beans.
Thursday, watch Durier's show. Talk it out.
Right.
It's good.
Yep. We're talking about I've had a lot of people say that affirmative action is a negative thing and that it is counterproductive to racial equality. So we're going to talk about that in addition to current events. And one of the current events is talking about how these like legit celebrities are starting OnlyFans pages. So we're going to discuss that on Thursday. Twitch.
But you know what? Not a current event. AOC playing Among Us.
That wasn't
on
a
Twitch,
current event.
So she could tell 500,000 people to vote. But that wasn't a current event last week, huh?
First of all, who is AOC? Like, let's be serious.
All right.
Anyway, it's gonna be a great show. Day Gamer is on Twitch, or you search Wonelli Media on YouTube.
Can you drop those in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
What am I dropping?
All right.
Your Twitch link and your YouTube link and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then definitely tune into his stuff. We also have on Fridays, we have Legend of the Five Rings right here on Master of Rem Twitch. We also have Saturday morning Dungeons & Dragons 5e episodicals which Chris and I are a part of. And that's we're playing through Dragon of Icefire Peak right now from the Essentials kit. And then we also do Mondays. We just started Dresden Files yesterday, so that's a new one. And then in 2 weeks, on Sundays, we're going to be doing Like Clockwork, which is based off of Danny's original world graphic novel series. We're going to use Dungeons and Dragons rules, 5e rules, but it's going to be all set in his world. And you should join our Patreon because we're going to be dropping a couple of preludes there of like meeting the characters before session 1 starts, so the prequels to everything, and they're really cool. And there's a lot of them, a lot of content. So join us on Patreon, join us on Discord if you haven't. Check us out on YouTube if you've missed the first 5 episodes of this, and lots of fun stuff. So yeah, lots happening. Rem is busy.
Moving and shaking.
Is there room for one more thing?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Also, if you know any actors out there who are interested in coaching, my degree is in directing and acting. So I'm starting doing private one-on-one coaching sessions. I left a link in the group chat. It's Wonelli Media. We have a coach. We have like for the hours and how much the rates are is on the website. Or you can just send me a message on Facebook at the Wonelli Media Facebook group or something like that. And if you know anyone who's an actor, they're very reasonable prices. There's deals for like if you get a month's worth, you get one free. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So just hit me up there if you'd like to take some acting.
You're looking for male actors, right?
I'm looking for one male actor because one of the courses I'm going to do, the first male is going to get it because I have certain clients right now. The first 4 of them, they're getting it for free. But then after that, people are starting to be charged. So if the first male who like decides to take the program will get it for free, and it's ongoing.
And I'm already talking to him about it, so you know. It might be me.
It wouldn't count for you because yours is more about improv. You said you wanted to do more like improv stuff, so I would just do yours because I know you. But yes. Yeah, look, that's how we do. It's a family discount, okay?
Awesome.
All right,
guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to play through the credits. Danny, are we coming back for a little chat?
I feel like we chatted already for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll come back next week.
All right.
Hang on. I'm going to raid another channel so we can give some of our fellow streamers some views.